Hey, what's going on, y'all? This your man Pristine back with another video. Here to unbox for you the Moto Z2 Play. Now, this is the second iteration of the Play in the Moto Z line. Now, this is actually a Verizon exclusive. Now, I know that there's been two of them that's been released so far in 2017. The Play here was released first, the Z2 Play here, and that's exclusive to Verizon. It's also being sold unlocked. And then I know that the Z2 Force Edition was just recently released, and that was released on all four major carriers. You can get this phone right now from Verizon for $408 plus tax. I do believe that the phone is going to be sold unlocked. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be available unlocked or what the unlocked price point is going to be. All right, now before I crack this out of the box and just take a look at the hardware and the software, I want to go over the specs. As I just mentioned, the price, $408 at Verizon. This is the Verizon exclusive of the Moto Z2 Play. We've got a 5.5 Full HD Super AMOLED display, 1080p by 1920 pixels. We've got a 401 ppi pixel density. We're running Android 7.1.1 Nougat fresh out of the box. We've got 32 gigs of onboard storage on board. We've got 3 gigs of RAM. We're running a Snapdragon 625 processor with a 2.2 gigahertz octa-core CPU with an Adreno 506. All right, we do have NFC on board, and so all of you individuals that like to wirelessly transfer data, pictures, or use Android Pay, you do have the ability to do that, so that's solid. We've got some stellar cameras on this bad boy. We've got a 12 megapixel rear facing camera. It's not a dual lens, it's just a single lens. On the front, we've got a 5 megapixel front facing camera that is a wide angle lens. All right. Now, this phone is a lightweight. You know, it only weighs 145 grams in its entirety. It's made with Corning Gorilla Glass 4, I believe, on the front, and on the back, it's a metal unibody design. We've got a 3,000 milliamp hour non-removable battery that does support turbo power charging, which is what Moto is calling their quick charge capability. It is a Type-C USB port and charged through Type-C USB. And it's set to charge from 0 to 50% in 30 minutes. And so expect to see some pretty fast charging times. Now, I do realize that the battery is a little smaller than the Moto Z Play from last year in 2016, which was considered a battery king. And so through testing, we'll see if the battery stacks up or if the fact that they decided to go with 3,000 is a major hindrance to the battery performance that you all are used to seeing from the Play. All right. Now, this phone is not water resistant, but it is water repellent. It has a water repellent nano coating. So, you know, if it's raining and you've got your phone out and you're talking on it and you get a couple raindrops on it, probably not going to do it any harm. But I don't think that this is the phone that you want to dunk underwater, you know, drop it in the toilet, you know, because you were trying to talk to your boo while you was taking a leak, or take it underwater and try to capture photos. You'll probably be upset with its performance because it's not IP67 or 68 water or dust resistant. All right, we do have a fingerprint reader on board, which there are fingerprint gestures. I'll talk a little bit about that in the review. The colors that you can get this in, so far I'm only seeing two, which is the lunar gray, which is what this is, and then there's a fine gold. All right. And as far as dual speakers are concerned, there are no dual speakers. It's just a front ported loudspeaker. The phone has 3 mics. All right, so those are all the technical specs right there. Now, looking at the presentation of the box, for one, I gotta say, red has always been my favorite color. I mean, so I love the color that they decided to go with for the packaging here. And just moving around, Verizon LTE Advanced. You see, we've got the barcode, IEMI information right there. To the right side of the box, Moto Z2 Play. At the top of the box, we've just got some little ridges. I actually like the way that looks. And then on the front of the box, we've got Moto Z2 Play, Moto mods compatible with Lenovo. Lenovo now owns Motorola. So this is actually a little sleeve. We'll go ahead and take that out. And now to open the box, boom, and I've already powered the device on and just did the quick setup, did the fingerprint setup, typical Android setup, nothing new. It just asks you, if you're in the US, what's your language, had to pop in my Google username and password, you know, just to get into my Google account. That sort of thing. Set up the fingerprint sensor, which is a very seamless, flawless experience. Now, here's the device here. Okay. So here's our device here. Very good looking device. Very distinguishable between, you know, who the manufacturer is. Motorola, they don't really stray away from their design too much. They kind of remind me of Sony. Like, I feel like I can spot a Sony phone from a mile away just because of how it looks. They don't really they don't really change up the look of the device. And it's pretty similar here. I mean, this really looks very similar to last year's iteration of the Play, with a few minor adjustments that they've made. You know, the dimensions are a little different. The fingerprint sensor is definitely different. But overall design is still pretty similar to what Motorola has been doing, and so that's not a bad thing. You know, I'm just simply stating the obvious. So here, I'll go ahead and set the phone to the side, and we'll check and see what else is in the box here. Okay, so here in this little thing, we've just got some meet your phone, important consumer information, and we've got this SIM injection tool there, which I don't need because I've got tons of them. And so we'll go ahead and file that to the side there. Alright, so here is our Type-C USB adapter cord. And if I can get this out of here. And here's our Type-C adapter port, or our brick, actually, the wall charger. This is where a lot of the turbocharging technology is coming from there. Now, sadly, that is everything that is in the box, so I don't get a style mod. Wow. Wow, I know that last year when I had the Z Force, it came with a style mod, but that doesn't seem to be the case here for the Moto Z Play 2. Don't know how I feel about that. You know, the style mod is important because if you take a look at the side of the device, you still got that camera hump right there, and the style mod, you were able to clip it to the back, and it just flattened out the back of the phone completely to where if it's sitting on a flat surface, then you're not going to be sitting on your lens of your camera, scratching up your camera lens. So I don't know how I feel. I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like, you know, if you set a standard, you know, if people are buying your products and you're giving people certain things, then, you know, when the next iteration of the phone drops, you know, it should be similar, you know. That's just my take on it. So, you know, any of you, you know, Motorola or Lenovo reps, if this video reaches you, man, don't bullshit your customers, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you know, last year, don't give us a style mod, you know, and then this year, not give us one. It's just something, it's just an additional, you know, accessory that we have to go out and buy, and that's not cool, you know. But it is what it is. All right. So, getting to the phone here, as I mentioned, 5.5-inch display, Super AMOLED. This display is absolutely gorgeous. All right. The phone gets plenty bright. I'm not sure exactly what the total amount of nits is, but it will definitely do the job. 7.1.1 fresh out of the box. You can see where the brightness level is right there. That's at, what, 30%? And it's extremely bright. It really doesn't need to be any brighter than what it is right now. So beautiful display on board. Snapdragon 625 processor coupled with 3 gigs of RAM. Now there is another variant. There's a 64 gig onboard storage with 4 gigs of RAM, and I believe that's going to be sold unlocked. But again, I'm not sure exactly what the pricing is going to be or when that's going to be available. So that may be something that you guys need to look into if you guys are interested in picking up that particular variant. Okay. Now scrolling up from the bottom, that takes you to your app drawer here, and as you can see, scrolling is a breeze, like hot knife through butter. Okay, scrolling. Now I noticed that when we scroll all the way to the right, typically on most Android devices, it will bring up Google Now. Now that's not the case here. This is something that Motorola is doing. So at the top there's like these little cards here, and at the top you can see frequently used apps. And then underneath that, you see discovered, news, music, apps, movies, food. When you scroll up, trending. So I believe that this is Yahoo's little information board, and you can customize it to get, all the news that, you would like to get. Let's see, powered by Eevee. Oh, I'm not really too sure about that. Or I'm not really too familiar with that, so I'll have to play with that and learn a little bit more about it because I'm so used to Google now. Um, but I mean, again, that's a solid tool. It seems like something that you'll be able to get some useful information. So I don't want to say that it's not worth having on there, and I'm pretty sure that you can disable that as well if you don't want that on there. Okay, now moving along to the settings. Okay, there's your confirmation that NFC does live within this device. And if we go down to About Phone, you see the Android version 7.1.1. We are running the July 1st, 2017 security patch. And phone name Moto Z2 Play. Alrighty. So as I mentioned, typical 7.1 setup or Android Nougat setup. Swipe down twice, that brings down your quick toggles where you can customize, your Wi-Fi, your mobile data, battery, do not disturb, flashlight, airplane mode, auto rotate, Bluetooth location. Scroll back up, that brings you to your notifications where you can just swipe those away like that to get rid of it. Now here's our fingerprint sensor right here on the front. One thing I like about this sensor is it's very responsive, but you can also tap it to put the phone to sleep. So unlock, lock. Okay, and there's a vibration that lets you know that you're doing what you need to do in order for it to read your fingerprint correctly. Now scrolling around to the right side of the device, we have all of our buttons. Here's our power and our sleep button, which there is some rigidity, and then we do have our volume rockers here that are flat, smooth to the touch. Buttons are clicky and very tactile. To the top of the device, we've got a microphone here, noise cancellation. We've got an antenna line here, and then here at the top of the device, this is where our SIM tray lives, which this is either a dual SIM, nano SIM slot, or you can put in a SIM card and an SD card for memory expansion up to 256 gigs. To the left of the device, we've got absolutely nothing. It's just completely smooth. And then to the bottom of the device, we've got our Type-C USB port, and we've got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and then we swing it around to the back of the phone, and this is where our 12 megapixel rear camera lives, along with the dual tone LED flash and our laser autofocus. Here is our Moto branding, and then at the bottom of the device, we've got some Verizon branding right there, which it wouldn't be a Verizon product if it didn't have Verizon branding on it. And here are our connector pins for the Moto mods, for modularity functionality. All right, now really quickly, just going to go into the Google suite of apps here and just open up some apps. We've got Google there, and this is where we get Google Now. So when you click on Google, then Google Now just pops up. Here's Gmail. Here is Maps. And I'm just opening up some apps just so you guys can see how snappy the processor is working as far as opening these applications. Okay, Google Drive, Google Play Music, Play Movies. Oh, that one just popped up. All right, Duo. A lot of these apps I haven't even opened yet, so okay. Docs just popped open. Here's Google Sheets. All right, and here's Google Slides. Alright, now we'll test out the RAM management. Scrolling through the apps, as you can see, are just buttery smooth. We'll go to Photos. There's Photos right there. Go back to Gmail. All right, Gmail just pops open. Drive just pops right back open. Let's go to YouTube. Okay, YouTube just pops right back open. So just want to give you guys a quick example of just how the phone performs really quickly. Camera. I've already taken a couple of photos with this camera, and they are absolutely stunning in my opinion. So here's a picture that I took just with one of my daughter's favorite movies, Boss Baby, along with the red box for the Z2 Play here. Really good looking photo. I mean, looking at it through the lens of the camera here doesn't really do it justice. I am recording with my LG K20 Plus here. And then here's a selfie cam of me really quickly. Don't judge me. I'm chilling. I'm in my robe. Man, it's 4 in the morning, y'all. You know what I'm saying? When you're a viewer, you got to understand. You got to get this content out, whenever you can. Well, actually, it's 5:02 right now, so I've been up for a while just working on this stuff. So it's 5:02 in the morning, not in the afternoon. So I've been up since like 3 something, working on this. There's a lot that goes into putting these videos and information together for you guys, man. So it's a lot of hard work. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I got. That's the hardware. We went over the software a little bit. You guys already know the order of business. Now I'm doing things a little differently. Typically I would just do an unboxing video and then I would hit you with the pristine review video about a week and a half or 2 weeks later. What I'm going to start doing now is start doing a dedicated camera video, which is going to be separate, from the full review, because I'm trying to cut down on the amount of time that my full review videos are. Just trying to be mindful of your time and my time as well. And so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be using this phone as my daily driver. I'm really looking forward to getting everything set up. Not a lot of bloatware at all on this device. I mean, this is more so of a stock Android experience, with the exception of the Verizon folder that is right there. As you can see, there's like 5 apps that are in that folder. And then when you scroll up in the app drawer, there's a few more apps, here, like Yahoo Finance, Yahoo Newsroom, Yahoo Sports, NFL Mobile. And I don't know who would be mad at NFL Mobile being on the device. Slacker Radio. We do have FM radio. But aside from that, I mean, everything else is just all Google apps. So I haven't downloaded not one app on here. So I'm looking forward to getting all my stuff, put on the device and setting it up and customizing it to my liking. And, I'll hit you guys with that full review and just give you a full end user experience. What I like, what I dislike. If there is anything that I dislike so far, I don't like the fact that it didn't come with a style mod. I'm gonna have to go and buy that, but that has nothing to do with how the phone performs. Hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on some mods as well that I can test. Lenovo, Motorola, Moto, they've got a lot of different mods coming out. They've already come out with the new JBL speaker. I think there's a couple of new battery mods that are out there. Of course, we've got the projector mod. We've got the Hasselblad camera mod for to really enhance the camera experience. Then I think they're going to be coming out with like a video gamepad mod. And they got some stuff cooking, so stay tuned. I mean, I'm definitely looking to get my hands on some of these things to show you guys, just how you can really customize and enhance the experience with the Moto Z2 Play here. All right, so you guys already know. Thank you for tuning in. Much love to all of my subscribers. Those of you that have been rocking with me for a while, I love and appreciate you. All of you new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the journey. I appreciate your subscription, and I hope to continue to bless you guys with as much content as I can on the top flagship and mid-range, or even budget devices, whatever they're being called. I mean, I know that there's different categories based on price, but it's all just to give you guys an idea of the options that you have out there. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to get a really good smartphone experience, and this is another example of what I'm talking about here. A lot of these phones that are being considered mid-range devices are really coming out with some killer specs, killer performance at killer prices. Prices that aren't going to kill you, literally. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you guys already know, man. Stay safe. Definitely stay blessed. Get your lives spiritually fit with Christ. God is always ready to start over whenever you are, but know that we are definitely living in the last days for sure. So keep that in mind, and definitely stay pristine in every aspect of your lives. This is the Moto Z2 Play. I'm your man Pristine, bringing you the content. Thanks for tuning in, and we out. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.